there's also people that don't drink alcohol because of religious beliefs. They don't drink alcohol. It can help also when you're religious. You avoid vices. But there are also people like you that very disciplined that if they say they don't like to do it or I won't do it,
Yeah.
and that's a good attitude. There are also, because of course in this world there are a lot of temptation, alcohol, cigarettes, in your friends, neighbors. So you there are people very adventurous or very curious. So sometimes even you don't want to drink and then you just want to try it.
Keeping no secrets.
Hi George. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Rose. How are you?
I'm very great. Actually, I just wanted to call, but I wanted to record for today's video. What do you think the best topic? Or
Okay.
or yeah, anything you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, good tips or advice, maybe a topic that we can share to everyone.
Yeah. Well, you could cover whatever you like. We could talk about all sorts of topics. Maybe you wanted to talk about the fact that I never drink alcohol. That's a bit different.
Oh yeah, yeah, because you're a Western. How do you manage not to drink alcohol?
Yeah. Okay. I'll definitely go on to how I manage. But yeah, let's talk about why I do it and start off with the facts. I mean, most people my age, younger, alcohol's the center of a lot of things. But for me, uh, I never really saw the need for it. And I'll start with the basics. I mean, I knew it would affect my sleep and it would affect my energy in the day. And I enjoy being energetic. And to be energetic, you need to also get good sleep. And both with like studies and career, but also being into sport, running and cycling, it never had a place for me in my day. And I, I've always seen it as a bit of an escape. Um, that's not wrong, but we all need to escape somehow. But it's a way to easily escape reality. And I just think, why not create your own reality that you never want to escape from? Um, and also, it's a high. People have alcohol to have fun. Uh, then you could start looking at where do you get your highs from? Where do you get those good moments and that entertainment in life? Like, you don't have to use alcohol to get it. You can have other forms of entertainment. You can get into a hobby. You can be really into your family time. And so, yeah, I looked for ways to get my passion and my that real energy of life from other means that didn't have to involve alcohol. I didn't like the dependency of it as well. Dependency to me is a weakness. The more things you're dependent or addicted to, the weaker you are, the less versatile you are. So I didn't want to have that dependency to alcohol. I didn't want alcohol up here above me controlling what I did. And yeah, it can become a hobby, sometimes in a healthy way. Some people can have it as a healthy way. They get into learning how the alcohol is made, but it can also be a hobby in an unhealthy way, right? Because alcohol it can take the form of, yeah, you're socializing and your hobby. Instead of playing basketball, instead of playing your musical instrument, your hobby is drinking alcohol. And Western culture, socializing all centers around alcohol. So you do make your life from a social point a bit difficult if you don't drink alcohol. It doesn't mean you can't join in, but I say you can always find a slightly different social group. There are groups of people where alcohol isn't the center, and quite often it's sport related, but also music and arts and creative pursuits as well. So use your hobbies as a way to socialize that doesn't need alcohol. And as for, yeah, being a Westerner, you will be asked, do you want to drink at some stage in your life? And it will normally be around social circles where there can be pressure because you'll probably be the only one not drinking. And it gets easier as you get older, but learning that saying no is okay. And you can decline alcohol politely as well in a respectful way, because if someone's offering you alcohol, it's a nice gesture. They're not doing it to make your day awkward. They're doing it to be nice. And then you just need to learn that it's okay to say no to that person, and you can say I'm okay with my other drink, and yeah, thank you very much for offering. I guess the other question is, why not on special days? Why are you so like strict on yourself? And well, if you don't enjoy the taste of something, why would you drink it? That's a good question. So me, I don't really enjoy the taste of it, so why would I? But the main one with that is I feel I have momentum with the habit. It's become a habit of not drinking, so it's not hard work for me to decline it. So I just keep that momentum going with the special occasions. I just don't feel the need to drink, so I don't. But I've never ruled it out. I don't make like a prison for myself. I don't make my life difficult. So a lot of drinkers would laugh at this, but because I'm not dependent on alcohol, sometimes I say things like, "Oh, I might have a drink when I turn 50, or I might have a drink when I turn 60." And of course, to a drinker, that's crazy. It's like, how can someone think like that? But if you're not dependent on it, waiting 20, 30 years doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, that's most of the main reasons. It took me a while to get to the taste one, but I guess that's important. So yeah, and I've had like, my family all drink, but in moderation, and it might be part of my personality as well. Maybe I enjoy being a bit different, but I definitely don't feel like I've missed out, and it allows me to get more done in the day. I don't have, I don't know, 4 hours on the weekend where my brain is foggy or something. Yeah, I'm always present, which I like. And yeah, you don't have to worry about how was my behavior like when I had too much to drink. Like, you're always accountable. You can't use alcohol as an excuse for bad behavior. You're always accountable for your behavior because you're not influenced by it. So that's enough from me. Anything you would like to add, Rose? I know you're quite similar, but yeah, anything to add?
Yeah, that's true. Um, if you have a discipline, of course, you can avoid alcohol, and that's the thing that I like about you because you're so disciplined and you don't drink at all. So, I mean, alcohol, you don't drink, you don't have vices. So, yeah, I'm so happy that I meet you because that's the thing that I don't like for my partner. Actually, um here in Philippines it's difficult because sometimes it can be a habit like sometimes it's a problem also for some people because when they used to it they cannot avoid it or even they don't like to drink, but sometimes when people forcing to them to drink that alcohol sometimes they can't say no, especially here in Philippines, but not all, but some Filipino, they're so very respectful and very friendly and hospitable. So it's difficult for them to say no. And it cannot help for you mentally. And even they say it's good for your body if you drink alcohol moderately. May I don't know if it's good or not, but it's not good for your mental health, not only in physical health, because if you force yourself to drink because you're afraid to say no, so after that you're regretting. So
Hmm.
it happens to me one time because of course I don't want to drink, but sometimes in occasion, if there's an occasion only, and to respect elders, if they're gonna give you a shot of beer or yeah, only a beer or in a wine also, and then when you respect people like your friends or your the elders, sometimes you can say, okay, only one shot, but after that, you're regretting because you don't like to drink, but you're just forcing yourself to please anyone. And yeah, if you're not used to it, you will regret. So, if you want to drink because you can't control, there are also people that they cannot control because they are alcoholic.
And can I just get one point in quickly? Yeah, Rose said nice words about me earlier, but it doesn't make me any better than anyone who drinks in moderation or heavily. It doesn't make me any better the fact I don't drink at all. It's not a moral high ground. Some people might say it is. definitely of the opinion that it doesn't make me a better person just because I don't drink. It's a personal choice, just as drinking alcohol is personal choice. And the point of this video is there's so much support socially for people to drink a little bit more. We're just going to provide some balance and say, if you ever get those voices in your head of, oh, why am I always encouraged to drink a bit more? Why is there no voice saying the opposite? We're just here to add that balance and be that voice. That, yeah, that's a very logical thing to think. It's just socially, it goes against the social flow to say these things. So that's why you don't hear it as much. But it's just as fine to say no to alcohol. And one more point, you also mentioned the health benefits, and I think there could be something in that. I mean, personally, I think it counts. I think if you drink in moderation or you drink nothing, I think it's about the same. I think that moderating in drink, you get a few benefits maybe from some of the, if it's wine, from some of the properties in the grapes, for example. But you also get a couple of negatives as well from the fact that you're still drinking alcohol that's not, it's to some degree a little bit toxic for the body. So I think drinking in moderation cancels out. It's about the same as not drinking. And then drinking to excess is almost, in all cases, it's called excess for a reason. It's going to put more stress on your body. So yeah, it's my arguments against people say, why, okay, go ahead, drink in moderation if it's no penalty. My argument against that is when you're already drinking in moderation, two things are happening. Your body's using some alcohol, so you're more likely to get into that dangerous zone of drinking too much. It's very easy to cross over into that zone. And number two, you've already set up a social circle that's a bit more alcoholic, so you'll have a bit more pressure around.
Yes. There are people like they live in the village that their neighbors drink, our friends drinking alcohol, and then they force to drink that alcohol because of if there's a party and you're all friends drinking, and because you're so very friendly and very nice, you will do it. But that's not good. Actually, it happened only for me because I don't like to drink. But yeah, there are times that when a relatives or a friend that force you to drink, but only one shot like that. It's not over like one glass or a bottle of uh, what's that? Very hard alcohol.
Yeah, like a spirit, you mean?
Huh?
Yeah, alcoholic spirit, they're called. Like if it's
But
vodka.
if it's like wine or beer, it's okay too. I just drink maybe in occasion, maybe once, twice, thrice, a half of the glass, a wine. Sometimes I cannot finish it, half of the glass. Apple, sunmig, light. Yeah, sometimes I drink like that, half of that. When my friends force me to drink when I graduated, they say, "You're already graduate. You should try to drink." And okay, sometimes yeah, okay. But that's not good. If you don't like to drink, don't, because after that you will regret. Like after drinking that, I regret to drink. Like I regret, why did I do that? I can't sleep. I can't sleep well. They say it can help you sleep well, but after I drink that, I cannot sleep because in my mind, oh my god, I drink alcohol and why I do that, so I cannot sleep well because it affects your mental health. But that is not very serious. But there's also people that don't drink alcohol because of religious beliefs. Sometimes they're of their religion, they don't drink alcohol. It can help also when you're religious. You avoid vices. But there are also people like you that very disciplined that if they say they don't like to do it or I won't do it, they will do it.
Yeah.
And that's a good attitude. But sometimes there are also, because of course in this world there are a lot of temptation, alcohol, cigarettes in your friends, neighbors. So you there are people very adventurous. We say that explorer or very curious. So sometimes even you don't want to drink and then you just want to try it
Yeah,
for
I think
once.
the
What's
religion
the thing?
the religious point was a good point, and some people have confused me as someone, oh, you must be very religious, and I'm like, not so much. And like you said, religion can be a very good reason, but all it shows to me is that whether it's religious or not, or half, whatever your reason is, it needs to be a strong one to carry it out. And religion is a good example of having a strong reason. Another point I was going to make is that some people might think, oh, is that a mental stress? Are you thinking about it every day? Like, oh, yes, alcohol this, alcohol that. And I think if you're doing it right, it isn't. Because for me, now that I'm a bit older, it's even less. But even when I was younger, the only times it would really come up or I'd think about it would be if you're at a gathering, you're at a social event, and someone asks you, would you like to drink? Like, the rest of your life, you're not really thinking, it's not part of your identity. It's not, George, this is my job, this is my age, non-alcoholic. No, it's not part of my identity. Yeah, just don't really think about it. And that's, yeah, my point is that's how it should be. I was now thinking, do you think maybe we're not the best qualified people to give tips on how people can reduce alcohol or even quit it, but maybe we can share how it feels, what our attitude is like, that can help people. And maybe I start off by saying, like, right now my mindset is just, I don't think about alcohol, and I guess if you're an alcoholic, like the dream, I'm lucky of I've never had the dependence on it, so that's why my brain's full of it. But my advice with that is I think the social circles is a big one, and coming from like socializing with alcohol, you might think, oh my goodness, like those guys, I don't know, like little groups of, whether they're artists or cyclists like me, think, oh, I don't want to be in that group, those people are weird. Try a few things. You're never too old to try a few different hobbies or interests, and there's going to be something out there that you can do that forms a little community that's not around alcohol. And I think that's the key. And without forcing it on you, it's getting a few friends that are thinking a bit non-alcoholic that will push you away from it. I'll let Rose speak in it. My last point is, any big change, if you're coming from a big addiction of it to something that's not part of your life, do not rush it. Do not, in English we call, go cold turkey. Just quit it all. It's going to be a real slow process where you gradually reduce the dependency over time. It's always going to take longer than you think. Anything to add on that, Rose?